Tonight on Love Live at 6, these are our main stories. Bus operators threaten nationwide service shutdown over diesel cost. CEO Chester Williams responds to the BBA bus service threat. Union Senator Glenfield Dennison questions government's failure to enforce civil asset recovery law. We'll also hear from the Union Senator calling for action on long-stalled whistleblower bill. Destiny Wagner resigns as Miss Universe Belize National Director after pageant controversy, and the Belize Tourism Board launches online program for travel advisors. And health officials urge public cooperation on dengue prevention. Don't go away, please. We have those stories and more tonight on the news. Stay with us.
Introducing GrowWatt, a global leader in distributed energy solutions, delivering innovative solar technology trusted around the world. Engineered for reliability, designed for sustainability, built to power every scenario, powering homes, empowering businesses, creating a smarter energy future for Belize. For residential hybrid systems that maximize energy independence, to homes across Belize benefiting from smarter, more efficient power management. GrowWatt off-grid solar storage solutions bring dependable electricity to locations beyond the traditional power grid, providing clean, reliable energy whenever and wherever it is needed. For businesses, GrowWatt delivers powerful commercial and industrial energy solutions that help reduce operating costs while improving energy security, including proven installations right here in Belize, helping businesses operate efficiently with dependable solar energy systems. As transportation evolves, GrowWatt EV charging solutions help power the future with clean energy. Need power on the move? GrowWatt portable solar power solutions provide flexible energy for construction sites, events, emergency applications, and temporary installations. GrowWatt delivers energy smart solutions for a greener future. Distributed in Belize by Lano Supplies, 112 Ranchita Village, Corozal Town.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Pelican is more than just brewed in Belize. It's made of Belize. And being made of Belize means being authentic, unique, and proud. This is what that looks like. Belikin, the beer of Belize. There are many stories to be shared about what it means to be made of Belize. Join Belikin in celebrating our Belizean heritage by sharing your unique story. A few of these stories will be selected to be produced into Belikin Made of Belize videos. Those chosen will receive Belikin beer for a year and will be invited to join us during production. Let's tell the stories of what it means to be made of Belize. Please send us a WhatsApp message at 630-6519 or email us at madeofbelize@skz.bz.
BTB Accommodations License Renewal 2026 opens August 1st through the online portal. BTB is also having its license renewal clinic countrywide, starting August 10th in Corozal, then in Orange Walk, Key Cocker, San Pedro, Hopkins, Placencia, Toledo, Belize City, San Ignacio, and Belmopan. Remember, to successfully process your renewal at the clinic, managers with portal access must bring updated electronic copies of renewal requirements. Licenses will be ready the same day at the clinic. Accommodations operating beyond October 31st, 2026 without successfully completing the renewal process will receive a violation ticket. Operating without a valid license commits an offense. For more information, please contact our compliance officers at 227-2420 extension #247. Email hotels@belizetourismboard.org or WhatsApp us at 635-3688. Renew your BTB accommodation license through the online portal starting August 1st, 2026 or look out for the renewal clinic near you.
Win the Encore Bundle. 2 Skydeck tickets, $500 DigiCash, a night stay at Grand Resort plus official Marshall Montano merch. Get your tickets for only $5 on the DigiWallet Marketplace games. And experience Marshall Montano the Encore way.
Good evening. Welcome to the evening news here on Love Television. For today, the 20th day of August 2026. The Belize Bus Association is warning that its member operators could discontinue bus services beginning Monday, August 24, if the government does not provide relief from what it describes as the unsustainable cost of diesel. In a letter dated August 20th and addressed to Prime Minister John Briceño and Minister of Transport Dr. Louis Zabane, BBA President Philip Jones says operators can no longer absorb rising operating expenses without government assistance. According to the association, it first raised the matter with the Minister of Transport on July 15, ahead of the expiration of the diesel subsidy on August 4. That issue was brought directly to the Prime Minister's attention on August 5, but the BBA says no solution has been implemented. The association says a previous government intervention provided critical financial relief that allowed bus operators to continue providing services. However, it says the industry has now returned to the same financial position that prompted that intervention. The BBA says operators have continued absorbing the cost of diesel over the past 2 weeks, along with higher expenses for parts, tires, and other essential supplies. And following the Belize Bus Association's announcement, Love News sought a response from the Minister of Transport on where the matter stands currently. We caught up with the CEO within the Ministry of Transport, Chester Williams. He told us that any decision on the BBA's request for the reinstatement of the diesel subsidy ultimately rests with Cabinet.
That matter is going to be dealt with by Cabinet, and that's all I will say on that.
This is the second time the BBA has retaliated in this way. In the release, they also described the matter as a common sense issue. What is your response to that statement?
I will refrain from answering that question.
Well, is the ministry prepared to handle another stop in operations by them?
That's, like I said, that's a matter for Cabinet to decide. Our ministry is going to comply with whatever decision Cabinet makes on that matter.
Despite announcing the suspension, the association says it remains willing to meet with government immediately. It is calling for the diesel subsidy to be reinstated retroactively, saying this would help prevent an interruption in public transportation. And Union Senator Glenfield Dennison is pressing government to explain why the Civil Asset Recovery and Unexplained Wealth Act has not been actively enforced 3 years after it became law. Dennison raised the issue during Tuesday's National Trade Union Congress of Belize press conference. He questioned whether the delay is due to a lack of political will, noting that legislation was enacted in 2023 to strengthen the fight against corruption and other unlawful activity. The law formally came into force on August 3rd of 2023 through a commencement order signed by Prime Minister and Minister of Finance John Briceño. Dennison says, however, the public has seen little evidence that its enforcement provisions are being used.
I wonder why we don't want to bring the civil assets recovery and unexplained wealth into being. Because you see, what happened throughout this country is public money is being funneled into private hands. People are exercising discretion using public funds for building war chests, for building generational wealth. And this piece of law is a part and parcel of all that is UNCA, all that is to ensure that corruption is minimized, so that when you have one house, whether 3 storage by one seaside, and you can't explain how you get it, that for the people of Belize, you know, because of truth we money you get. So I know my president said 90 days for the piece of thing, you know. But this could pass this week, you know. It's a 1 hour publishing of the Gazette. We could start take back house and land and stuff for people and assets where they have, where they can't explain how they got it. I want this now.
Legislation designates the Financial Intelligence Unit as Belize's Civil Recovery Authority, allowing the FIU to investigate property suspected of being acquired through unlawful conduct and to apply to the High Court for orders to freeze, manage, or recover those assets. One of its main tools is the Unexplained Wealth Order. A case may be referred to the FIU when authorities reasonably suspect that a person's wealth exceeds their lawful income. The wealth is valued at more than $100,000, and the property may have been acquired through an offense. The High Court can then order the person to declare their assets and explain how the wealth was obtained. Anyone who knowingly submits false information can face a fine of up to $150,000 and 5 years in prison. The law also allows a state to pursue property through civil proceedings without first securing a criminal conviction. Referrals may come from the FIU director, the director of the Belize Tax Service, the controller of customs, the chairperson of the Integrity Commission, or the commissioner of police. Dennison says that without visible enforcement, the legislation cannot fulfill its intended purpose of recovering unlawfully acquired wealth and strengthening accountability. The government and the FIU are yet to respond to his latest criticism. And Dennison also turned his attention to the Protected Disclosures Bill, commonly referred to as the whistleblower legislation, which has remained stalled since it was introduced in the House of Representatives in May 2021. The union senator says the continued delay leaves people who expose corruption, financial wrongdoing, and other forms of misconduct vulnerable to dismissal, intimidation, and victimization. He says recent cases involving leaked information have again demonstrated why these protections are urgently needed.
There's a piece of legislation that is meant to protect people who are doing exactly what we need more of in Belize, blowing the whistle for corruption. Whistleblowers legislation is languishing in the House of Representatives, my brother. Not the OSH. That's what we need for spot one light pan. Why is that piece of legislation languishing that dead, you know? So we have to resurrect it. Resurrect the Protected Disclosure Bill, because you see how they victimize or want to victimize the people who they leak the screenshots from the Mirror Millions? That's where that did it for protect. So make we get that out in the next 90 days. I ready for debate that the Senate. Senator Chino, are you ready for debate that in the Senate? I ready. So make we get the whistleblowers bill. No.
The Protected Disclosures Bill was introduced to encourage people to report wrongdoing in both the public and private sectors. It covers reports involving criminal offences, breaches of legal duties, misuse of public funds, gross mismanagement, threats to public safety, environmental damage, and attempts to conceal wrongdoing. Under the proposed law, employers would be required to appoint whistleblowing officers and establish internal systems through which employees could report suspected misconduct. Reports could also be made to specialized units within designated authorities when there is no internal reporting system, when no action is taken, or when the whistleblower believes evidence could be destroyed or retaliation could follow. Those authorities would include the Auditor General's Office, the Financial Intelligence Unit, the Integrity Commission, the Office of the Ombudsman, the Police Department, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and the Attorney General's Ministry. A person making a protected disclosure in good faith would be shielded from dismissal, suspension, demotion, harassment, forced transfer, and other forms of retaliation. The person's identity will also have to remain confidential unless written consent is given for its disclosure. Whistleblowers would generally be protected from civil, criminal, and disciplinary action arising from the disclosure. Anyone who is victimized could apply to the court for an injunction, compensation, or another form of relief. The bill would also make it an offense to intimidate someone, prevent a disclosure, punish a whistleblower, or knowingly submit false information. Depending on how the matter is prosecuted, a conviction could carry a fine of up to $50,000 and as much as 10 years in prison. Despite those proposed protections, the bill did not advance through all its parliamentary stages. In 2021, remains listed as draft legislation. So Denison is calling on the government to revive it and move it through the National Assembly. The San Pedro Town Council is moving ahead with plans to transform the old artisan market across from the Sacachispas field into a multi-purpose municipal complex. Mayor Gualberto Nunez says the proposed facility would include a formal market for fresh produce and meats, dedicated stalls for artisans and retailers, parking and rentable event space. Portions of the building could be elevated to provide parking underneath, helping to ease congestion during major events and on regular business days. The project remains in the design phase and the council has not yet approved a final layout. Nunez says the existing structures would be removed and the entire property redeveloped. The plans also include an upper-level venue for conferences, weddings, and other functions. Rental income from that space could provide additional revenue for the municipality. The council is also considering how to accommodate more than 20 artisans currently operating near the field. Nunez encouraged vendors to work with the municipality, noting that upgraded and more secure stalls may carry rental fees. The push follows a visit by representatives of the Food and Agriculture Organization Investment Center who identified San Pedro's need for a proper municipal market. No construction date has been announced as the project still requires completed designs, approvals, and coordination with national partners, including the Belize Tourism Board. And for itself, the Belize Tourism Board has launched a new online training program to help travel professionals better promote Belize to international visitors. The Belize Specialist Program provides travel advisors with information about the country's attractions, culture, geography, air connections, and tourism products, consisting of 4 interactive modules, each taking approximately 30 minutes to complete. Travel advisors who finish the program will become certified Belize travel specialists. They will also gain access to marketing materials, destination photographs, sample itineraries, and quarterly industry updates to help them develop travel packages for their clients. As an added incentive, advisors who complete the training during the launch period will be entered into a drawing for a familiarization trip to Belize, including international airfare. The trips allow travel professionals to experience the destination firsthand and recommend it to their visitors. The program forms part of the Tourism Board's efforts to strengthen Belize's presence in the international travel market and attract visitors interested in the country's marine attractions, Maya heritage, wildlife, and its cultural experiences. In other news, the National Garifuna Council of Belize is responding to the Honduran government's latest position on concerns surrounding the treatment of Garifuna communities in San Juan, Honduras. The response comes more than a month after Garifuna supporters from across Belize demonstrated outside the Honduran embassy in Belize City. The July 14 demonstration followed an eviction operation in San Juan that reportedly left several people injured and community leaders detained. Protesters called on Honduras to respect international rulings recognizing Garifuna ancestral land rights. Following the demonstration, the NGC executives met with embassy officials and submitted a letter addressed to the President of Honduras. Now the Honduran government has responded. In a letter dated August 19, Ambassador Scarlett Ayoneda says Honduras is taking steps to protect Garifuna communities and their ancestral territories. Government also says its judiciary continues discussions with human rights officials and OFRANE regarding international judgments on Garifuna land rights. Honduras further says 5 people have been charged in connection with a land dispute and more than 300 land registration applications have been rejected as part of efforts to protect ancestral territory. Government also points to recently approved legislation that it says strengthens protections against dispossession and gives Garifuna communities a greater voice in decisions affecting their lands. But after taking their concerns directly to the Honduran embassy last month, what does the National Garifuna Council make of that response? NGC President Alex Alberto shares his thoughts.
We appreciate the response and the efforts by the Honduran ambassador. We recognize that clearly it's an official government position and it maintains the status quo, the messaging that the government of Honduras has been delivering. We don't think that it goes far enough to address the core issue of the disposition that's really the core of the issue. And so we're hopeful that additional efforts will be made to continue the conversation, or at least to start some meaningful dialogue and to bring the key stakeholders to the table for us to chart a way forward. My understanding is, or at least the claim is, that the property or a portion of Garifuna traditional territory, the communal space, was sold by allegedly some Garifuna persons, so these owners. But the issue that I'm having with it is that Garifuna territory has been protected, and so there is no way that the sale would have been valid because of the protection that comes with Garifuna spaces. So we need some clarity in that regards to see what is going on from the government side in relation to the continued protection of Garifuna traditional spaces. The question that I have, how is it possible then for people to sell traditional spaces or Garifuna territory? And so the argument that the government is protecting the interests of the new owner, I have an issue with, because what happens to the rightful owner and their interests?
Meanwhile, Honduras says it will continue discussions with the affected communities, ensuring security operations are conducted lawfully and without ethnic discrimination. The National Garifuna Council says it will continue monitoring the situation and standing in solidarity with the Garifuna communities in Honduras. Destiny Wagner has resigned as National Director of Miss Universe Belize just days after the national pageant in San Pedro faced public criticism. Wagner says her decision comes after reflecting on the communication and leadership that followed the August 15 competition and whether her values still align with those of the organization. She specifically cites concerns about accountability, teamwork, communication, and responsibility. The resignation comes 5 days after Kelly Rose West was crowned Miss Universe Belize 2026 from a field of 8 delegates. The pageant drew criticism following the competition, including concerns about its promotion and the use of an image of Guatemala's Tikal during a cultural presentation showcasing Belizean heritage. Love News reported on that criticism following the pageant as questions were raised publicly about aspects of the competition. Wagner was serving as national director under the new Miss Universe Belize franchise structure. Earlier this year, Love News reported that the former Miss Universe Belize Foundation no longer held the Belize franchise after it was awarded to an organization based in El Salvador. In announcing her resignation, Wagner says she accepted the national director position with the intention of bringing greater support, sisterhood, and community to pageantry in Belize, saying she's proud of what she was able to contribute, but says the events surrounding the pageant and, more importantly, the communication and leadership that followed caused her to reflect deeply on her role. Wagner says she believes leadership means standing together when things go wrong rather than placing responsibility on one team while overlooking the circumstances that may have contributed to the outcome. She does not detail what those circumstances were. Instead, Wagner says there were things that happened behind the scenes that the public is not aware of and that she may address some of those matters at an appropriate time. Despite her resignation, Wagner says her support for the delegates has not changed. She thanked the Belizean team involved in the pageant, saying that despite the challenges and short timeline, the team worked tirelessly and remained committed to the delegates and to making the competition happen. Wagner also extended her support to newly crowned Miss Universe Belize, Callie Rose West. She says West deserves to enjoy her reign and represent Belize proudly, encouraging Belizeans to continue supporting her as she prepares for the International Miss Universe competition in Puerto Rico. Wagner continues, saying she leaves the organization knowing that she entered with good intentions, gave everything she could, and remained true to what she believed was best for the women she was entrusted to support. And while she's ending her involvement with the Miss Universe Belize organization, she says she's not walking away from pageantry. Sometimes leaving is not giving up, but recognizing when something is no longer aligned with you and with who you are and what you stand for. Don't go away, stay with us. We'll have more news right after this break.
People, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
Belize, you feel it yet? Carnival season there. Creole Heartbeat there too. One brand new showcase band celebrating for we Creole culture with rhythm, with pride. Come wear the beautiful costumes. We talking you on the road. Join the band. Call 600-7453 or email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. Creole Heartbeat, come feel the rhythm.
The BCCI's Expo Belize Marketplace is back and celebrating 30 years of Belizean innovation, enterprise, and business. Save the date and join us on Saturday, September 12 and Sunday, September 13, 2026 at the Marion Jones Sports Complex in Belize City from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Experience Belize's premier marketplace where entrepreneurship and opportunity come together under one roof. From exclusive deals and promotions to delicious food, drinks, and live entertainment, the Expo Belize Marketplace has something for everyone. Whether you're shopping, networking, discovering what's new, or simply enjoying the Expo vibes, this is one event you don't want to miss. Celebrate 30 years of business excellence with us at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2026, where Belize does business. See you there. Sponsors include
Belize, the king of soca, returns to the jewel after 10 years. Marshall Montano with his full band and dancers to give you the encore soca and culture fest experience. The Belize Tourism Board, Belize Bank, Cellular World, and Digi, our national telecom, present the 12th annual Guinness Soca and Culture Fest. Sunday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. And if you think last year was great, this year will be even greater. Doors open at 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Also featuring St. Martin's Juggling and Dancing Queen, DJ BB Bad, and General Super G, Belize's Soca Queen, Ernestine, Belize's Soca Don Dada, TR Shine, Belize's top DJs, plus more.
Get your tickets now. General admission $80, VIP $215, Ultra VIP $365, and limited sky deck for $500.
So mark the date for the 12th annual Soca and Culture Fest Encore Experience, featuring the King of Soca, Marshall Montano.
Sponsored by
It's time again to raise your flag and win with love.
Make your patriotism fly high with a beautiful Belizean flag. Cause this September, love one day every way.
Start decorating with our national colors, our symbols, the Belizean flag, anything that shows you're a proud and true Belizean.
Then we will test how well you know your country. Get the answer correct and you could walk away with a nice prize.
Schools across Belize, turn those classrooms into a celebration of Belize for a chance to become a winner. And businesses, we're calling on you too. Show off your Belizean pride and you could be rewarded.
Here's make ways. Put up their flags and make a powerful statement. Look at me. I am Belize at 45.
Raise your flag and win with love, starting September 1st.
Belizean people, raise your flag and win with love. Raise your flag and win with love.
Welcome back as we continue with the evening news here on Love Television. With the rainy season now here, health officials are reminding the public to take precautions against dengue. Frequent rainfall can leave standing water in and around homes, creating breeding sites for the Aedes aegypti mosquito that transmits the virus. The Ministry of Health and Wellness says its vector control unit has increased surveillance, public education, yard inspections, and mosquito control activities across the country. Chief Vector Control Officer Kim Bautista told us cooperation from residents is also important because many breeding sites are found on private property.
As you saw, the ministry released a public advisory, essentially advising the public that as we continue through the peak of the rainy season, for certain precautionary measures to take place, because it is during this period of intense rainfall that we traditionally enter what is the peak transmission season for dengue. So looking at the data over recent years, the peak transmission period is between around mid-July to about mid-November. And that is when you would tend to see majority of the cases in communities that have conditions that are conducive to dengue transmission. With the increase in rainfall, you tend to have a proliferation of mosquito breeding sites, whether it is poor drainage in certain areas and you have standing water, or whether you have multiple artificial containers that are used to store water, or those that can retain water and serve as mosquito breeding sites. So you see elevated numbers being reported out of the Cayo and Stan Creek district. For the year, we have seen 976 total cases. That includes 647 lab-confirmed cases and 329 clinical cases.
Residents are advised to inspect their yards regularly and remove or empty objects that collect water, including tires, buckets, bottles, and flower pots. Water storage drums should be properly covered, while drains and gutters should be kept clear.
We do expect that the cumulative number of cases will be less than what it was in 2025 and also 2024. But of course, we do need to take precaution because of this critical period. In terms of the vector control program, we do have, we operate with a staff of approximately 64 countrywide. We have roughly about at least 50 field technicians who are responsible for inspection of various premises, treating mosquito breeding sites, and also supporting a public education awareness campaign. One of the other proactive measures that we are undertaking also is the inspection and fogging of primary and high schools. But we continue, as I say, to keep the public abreast in terms of what the situation is like.
Everyone is advised to seek medical attention for symptoms including high fever, severe headache, pain behind the eyes, muscle and joint pain, nausea, or a skin rash. Early diagnosis, medical care can reduce the risk of serious complications. Meanwhile, mosquito spraying is continuing in selected areas, and Bautista reminds removing breeding sites remains one of the most effective ways for households to reduce their risk. And as Belize continues its push towards cleaner and more sustainable transportation, a local electric vehicle company is now expanding into the taxi industry. E-Volution Limited has officially launched its e-taxi program, a push aimed at introducing more electric vehicles into Belize's public transportation sector. The company says the program is designed to provide taxi operators with an alternative to traditional fuel-powered vehicles, while also demonstrating how electric transportation can work in our everyday environment. Program Director Risani Napata explains what customers and potential operators can expect from this new initiative.
The taxi program started off with one pilot, which is Mr. David. I don't know if you've seen the car driving around. It's a yellow with a checkers on the side. That's the taxi program and the pilot of the taxi program. The taxi program is tailored for taxi drivers who are professional, who are disciplined, who want to own a car. However, the taxi program has expanded to not just a car, but it will now be a 7-seater van as well. The change was because of a meeting that we've had with some taxi drivers on Tuesday. They voiced their opinions. We listened to them and they said that some of them would need something bigger. So we decided that we can offer two options, either the car or the vans for individuals who would need it. And could afford the vans as well. The pricing would be, there are two options when it comes to the program or how you could start the program. Firstly, it's a down payment of $3,500. Then you go into $75 a day for 40 months. But the next option would be you pay down $1,000 and then we finance the next $3,500 over 12 weeks. Because we do understand that it's harder for taxi drivers to get financing from formalized financial institution. There is a screening process, an application and screening process, whereby they fill out the application form with their details, their name, their number, their email, where they live and what's not. Then there are 4 documents that we ask for, which is the ID, their social security ID, your license, your utility bill, and a police record. Of course, like I said before, we want to work with disciplined drivers, individuals who are looking to actually own a vehicle, not just rent from us, you know. Next, we have the screening program the screening process whereby we could find individuals who could give recommendations about the individual who is applying.
The launch comes as electric mobility continues to gain ground in Belize, with electric buses and taxis already operating in Belize City. For Evolution, the e-taxi program represents another step towards making electric transportation a more practical option for both drivers and passengers, while moving Belize closer to a cleaner transportation system. And Placencia is now the first community in Belize to have a team of authorized officers dedicated to enforcing the country's anti-littering laws. 9 residents have been appointed by the Department of the Environment under the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Climate Change as part of the National Anti-Littering Campaign. The officers are authorized to issue tickets for littering offenses while also educating residents on proper waste disposal. We spoke with Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai Sr. about this new program.
The Department of Environment, as you know, is implementing a national anti-littering campaign. The campaign is a result of the fact that, again, litter is a major environmental concern for Belize. I know that you would agree that when you move around the country, you tend to see garbage openly disposed in public spaces, basically. So we decided to implement this anti-littering campaign to re-educate the Belizean public about the need to have a clean and healthy environment. And in fact, the motto of the campaign is "Our Belize, Our Responsibility, BINIT." We chose Placencia because we had a meeting with them recently and we had discussed during the meeting. The anti-littering campaign came up as a point of discussion, and we informed them some of the activities that we're doing. So, for example, we explained to them that we are amending the littering ticket violation regulation, and through that communication, we had discussed the need for us to possibly authorize, or for the minister responsible for the environment to authorize persons, other than what the law is saying, to issue littering ticket. We got a list of 9 names from them, and we went through the process along with through the Attorney General's office, with formally authorizing, giving Minister Habit the authority to authorize these people to issue littering. The letter that was handed to them at the ceremony yesterday by Minister Orlando Habit gives them the legal authority to issue littering ticket. And so the current law, as it stands, has a list of authorized persons. But the law also gives the minister responsible for the environment the powers to authorize additional people to issue littering ticket. And so they have, in terms of their roles, function, and authority, they have the full backing of the legislation when they issue littering ticket to people. And so what they are to do is, the law says that if these persons see anyone throwing litter or garbage on the ground, they have the legal powers to issue them with a ticket. And the current regulation states that if they see an individual throwing garbage on the ground, that they could issue a littering ticket of $100. And if it's a company, then it's $500.
But the officers' work will go beyond issuing tickets. They will also engage residents, promote proper waste disposal, and help change attitudes towards littering. Campaign is targeting a 30% reduction in visible litter in key areas of Belize over the next 2 years, using enforcement, education, and community involvement. The 9 officers appointed in Placencia are Warren Garbett, Bryce Dial, Sheldon Lopez, Conrad Villanueva, Christine Small, Henry Hamilton, Charles Wesby Jr., Edwin Wesby, and Naomi Anderson. According to the officials, having residents involved is important because people within the community are often in the best position to identify problem areas and encourage others to keep their surroundings clean. For the newly appointed officers, the responsibility also provides an opportunity to give back to their communities. Mai says there are simple ways Belizeans can practice greater civic pride and take responsibility for the environment.
Littering ticket has at the back of it several different conditions that the person has to abide by in terms of the person who received the littering ticket. So it says that if you don't pay the fine within 15 working calendar days, there's a $10 increase every day thereafter. And if you don't pay it after 30 calendar days, then the ticket itself is a summons and you'll have to appear to court. Implore upon them to have civic pride, right? To try to develop a lifestyle where you want to live within a clean community, and it starts from from you. It starts from your home, right? It starts from your community, and then from your community to your district, and then to the entire country. Again, for one, I like to live within a very clean area, right? And so I try to keep my surroundings as clean as possible. Personally, I have chosen to reduce accepting, for example, plastic bags as much as possible. So it starts with the individual. So individually, we have to say to ourselves, I choose to live and act this way. And if you do it, hopefully your neighbors and your friends will see your behavior and they will try to emulate it. And once that catch on countrywide, again, I think we will see the behavioral change that we desire and we want, and we'll be living in a cleaner country.
According to the Department of the Environment, similar training appointments are expected in other communities as their national anti-littering campaign expands across the country. A 32-year-old Belize City fisherman has been remanded to prison after being charged in connection with an alleged domestic dispute involving the mother of his children. Ramsey Roman Palma appeared unrepresented in court where he was charged with burglary with intent to cause bodily harm and 1 count of harm. He pleaded not guilty, told the court that the allegations against him were false. And according to police, Palma entered the woman's home on New Road without her permission during the early hours of Friday, August 14. The woman reported that an argument followed and that Palma allegedly slapped her, causing pain and swelling to her face. Police say the officers did observe swelling and issued her a medico-legal form. Palma was later detained and charged. The prosecution objected to bail, citing the seriousness of the burglary charge and the domestic nature of the allegations. Palma appealed to the court for his release, saying that he has 3 children at home and that his imprisonment would affect his family. The magistrate upheld the prosecution's objection, denied bail at this time. Palma was taken to prison until October 13, and he was informed that he may apply to the High Court for bail. Don't go away, stay with us. We have yet more news to come right after the break.
If this is an emergency situation, please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
North, South, East, and West. Belize City will have the best Lobster Fest. BNS Beach and Northern Fishermen Cooperative presents Lobster Fest Beach Party. August 29th and 30th. Come be a part of this 2 days event at the BNS Beach. 3 3/4 miles George Price Highway. Food and drinks will be on sale. Then, who will be Belize's best chef? As we have lobster cook-off competition, kayak race, chocolate mud wrestling, greasy pole, bouncy house, and a whole lot more. They can't stop you. Do what you want. Live entertainment by Vida Mugs and Toprit. So make it a date. Don't be late. August 29th and 30th, BNS Beach, Lobster Fest. Admission, $15 adults, $5 kids. Gates open at 10 a.m. Be there.
Sponsors are San Pedro Belize Express, Lawrence Ellis and the Mesopotamia Committee, Carib Beer, Grace Beverage Center, Belikin, the Beer of Belize, Caribbean Tire, Northern Fisherman Cooperative, and Love FM.
Land of the free by the carriage sea, our manhood we pledge to thy liberty.
Show your pride by respecting our national anthem whenever it's being played. We're blessed. We are free. We are proud. This is our Belize. Respect it. Cherish it. Love it.
Manholes play a critical role in keeping our sewage and drainage systems functioning properly. They allow our maintenance team to inspect, clean, and clear blockages. When covers are missing or compromised, the entire system and the public are placed at risk. Stealing or damaging manhole covers is a criminal offense and creates dangerous conditions on our streets and sidewalks. Motorists and drivers are reminded that it is an offense to park or drive on sidewalks. The weight of vehicles, large or small, can crack and dislodge manhole covers. In an ongoing effort to protect lives, property, and public infrastructure across Belize City, your Belize City Council continues its citywide manhole cover replacement program. Since the launch of this initiative, thousands of damaged or missing manhole covers have been replaced, improving safety, accessibility, and the overall appearance of our streets and sidewalks. Despite these strides, manhole covers continue to be stolen or damaged, creating serious risks for pedestrians and motorists, including severe injuries, traffic incidents, and damage to personal property. If you see a manhole cover that is broken, missing, or unsafe, report it immediately. Take a photo and share the location with us via WhatsApp at 673-9055 or by calling 227-2308. Remember, maintaining manhole covers requires a shared responsibility. Together, we can prevent accidents, protect public infrastructure, and keep Belize City safe for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Good evening again. Welcome back to the evening news here on Love Television. The Luna Foundation is continuing its mission of transforming lives through education, providing financial awards to 6 outstanding Belizean students this year as part of its annual awards program established in 2025. The program was created as a tribute to the founder's mother, Marceline Stain, whose dreams of pursuing a formal education were cut short because, as a woman, she was not given the same educational opportunities. Well determined to honor her mother's legacy, the founder established a foundation to help young Belizeans access the education that was once out of reach for so many. The initiative is a collaborative effort between the foundation's founder, Sumaya Morris, and Karen Simplis, a former student she taught, who now serves as a social work lecturer alongside her at the University of Belize. Together, they have worked to identify deserving students who have demonstrated academic promise, perseverance, and a commitment to their education. We spoke to the founder, Sumaya Morris, and she shared these words with us.
Before the establishment of the foundation, I collaborated with Miss Karen Simplis here at the University of Belize in providing financial awards to UB students in the social work program. I was inspired by my mother, who was a very strong and determined woman who grew up in the village of Sartaneja in the Corozal district. My mother never had the opportunity to fulfill her educational journey and aspirations. I believe she only went to as far as maybe standard 2, and this was typical for many women of her generation. Despite that, my mother ensured that myself and my siblings all received the best of education that Belize had to offer at that time. This is our 4th year of being in existence, and this year, after the establishment of the foundation in 2025, I decided that I wanted to broaden the scope of the foundation, and that was achieved by ensuring that we also included students at the primary school level, at the high school level, as well as continuing to support students at UB's social work program. The student has to be actively enrolled in school. Second, they need to have and demonstrate good academic standing. And third, of course, they have to demonstrate a financial need. Yesterday at our program, we actually featured a former awardee who delivered the closing remarks in an excellent manner. And so, in my view, she really demonstrates one of her success stories, because she has been a really outstanding student here at the UB Social Work Department, and she is set to graduate this fall with her degree in social work.
This year's scholarship recipients are from institutions across the country. 2 students are from St. John's Anglican Primary School, 1 from Anglican Cathedral College, 2 from the University of Belize, and 1 from Sacred Heart College. The 2026 awards also mark an important milestone for the program. For the first time since its inception, the foundation has expanded its reach beyond tertiary education to include both primary and secondary school students, recognizing that educational support is needed at every stage of a student's academic journey. Karen Simplis spoke to us and shared what this means to her.
I was one of the first persons that Mrs. Morris, first person that she discussed what her goals are for the foundation. This is a rather long history between myself and the founder of the foundation. I'm so proud of the founder to expand it, because education is not only at the higher level. Education starts from pre-kinder, and it is great that students are motivated or rewarded with a financial award at this level. So we believe that it's not only, you don't only reward or award for good behavior, but if we see growth, we should reward our young people.
The partners hope that the scholarships will not only ease the financial burden on families, but also inspire them to pursue their goals and eventually give back to their communities. The Lunan Foundation says it remains committed to investing in Belize's future, ensuring that financial challenges do not prevent deserving students from achieving their educational goals. Finally, the government of Belize is stepping up its support to the citrus industry with thousands of bags of fertilizer provided to growers as the sector continues efforts to recover from years of challenges. Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries Minister Honorable Rodwell Ferguson yesterday handed over 9,150 bags of fertilizer to the Citrus Growers Association in Pomona, Stan Creek. The fertilizer is valued at close to $800,000 and was handed over during a brief ceremony at the CGA headquarters. The handover was witnessed by CGA CEO Seville Obaiza, members of the ministry's senior management team, and members of the Citrus Growers Association. During the ceremony, Minister Ferguson spoke about government's commitment to supporting the agriculture sector, expressing hope that with continued support, the industry can once again become strong and successful. For citrus growers, the assistance comes at a critical time. The industry has gone through some difficult years, largely because of citrus greening, a disease that has affected citrus trees and impacted production across the sector. CGA Chairman Eccleston Irving welcomed the government support, expressing gratitude for the assistance. Irving says citrus growers were eagerly anticipating the fertilizer, which will provide much needed support as they work to maintain their groves and improve production. Following the handover, the fertilizer was immediately distributed to members of the association. Assistance is expected to help growers as the citrus industry continues its rebound, with producers working to recover from the effects of citrus greening and rebuild the sector. For an industry that provides employment and contributes to Belize's agricultural economy, the fertilizer support is seen as an important step as citrus growers work towards getting the sector back on stronger footing. With that story, we end tonight's edition of the Evening News here on Love Television. Thank you very much for being with us, and don't go away, stay with us tonight. Right now, we'll bring you the news of the weather coming up shortly, and at 7:30, tonight's edition of Belize Watch. So stay with us. Thanks again. We'll be back again Monday night. That's actually tomorrow night, Friday night, with the same program of the news of the day. Thanks again, and have a good night. I am Ernesto Vasquez.
Good evening. The weather was warm today with only isolated shower activity. Relatively dry conditions over the region will support similar weather during the next day or two. The 24-hour forecast is for partly cloudy skies tonight and sunny skies with a few cloudy spells tomorrow. Showers or thunderstorms will be isolated, with a few more over southern Toledo late tonight. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be easterly to northeasterly at 10 to 20 knots, and the seas will be light chop to choppy. Minimum overnight temperatures will range from 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 75 inland to 68 in the Mountain Pine Ridge. Maximum temperatures tomorrow will be around 89 Fahrenheit on the coast, 95 inland, except only 82 degrees up in the mountains. The outlook for Friday night is for a few showers or thunderstorms over the south. Then a few showers or thunderstorms will affect southern and central areas Saturday morning, with showers becoming isolated Saturday afternoon. Elsewhere, showers will be isolated. There is a low tide at 9:12 tonight, and the high follows at 3:40 tomorrow morning. Another low is at 12:09 tomorrow afternoon, and another high at 6:40 tomorrow evening. The moon will set at 11:49 tonight and rise again at 1:34 tomorrow afternoon. Sunrise in the morning is at 5:36. Sunset tomorrow evening is at 6:14. In the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected in our area of interest during the next 48 hours. In the sargassum update, there is a high chance that more sargassum mats could drift ashore, producing moderate to major impacts over coastal destinations across the country during the next few days. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.